Okay, so this is another exciting episode of Opinionated Infrastructure, and today we're going to talk about developers. Developers are the people that are making stuff happen. We call them at RedMonk the new kingmakers. So yeah, James Governor, co-founder of RedMonk, and Opinionated Infrastructure is my video series, and this is my coffee shop. So I'm the co-founder of the Village Hall, which is a space in Shoreditch, which is really for community and specifically developer events. And if you're going to have good developer events, you want good coffee, because life is too short for bad coffee. So this was core to kind of what we were doing. And then come through into my palace. So this is the Village Hall, and we've been running a series of developer events here. We've run the Great British Node Conference, we've been running the Clean Web events, Cloud Camp is now here. We've been open for about 6 to 8 weeks. Basically, the best kinds of developer conferences I tend to find are quite intimate, quite small, size of the small village basically, kind of the famous Dunbar number. And so that's what we're doing. And basically, when we look at the kinds of impacts that developers are having on the world now, they're choosing the platforms that succeed. So, we've got, bring your own device and bring your own cloud and bring this and bring that. Basically, it's the developers, the ones that are really bringing new platforms into the organization. So, nobody needs to ask the CIO for permission anymore. Everything is cheap, everything can be done. So IBM tends to be really top down. So IBM is my client sponsoring Opinionated Infrastructure. And they tend to be top down. They tend to be like, oh, we're not about consumers, we're about, talking directly to enterprises. And that is all well and good. But what I'm really excited about is that IBM is now stepping up its investments in and around practitioners and ecosystems and understanding they need to bring the developer and the engineer, not just the purchaser and the line manager, along on this journey. And so I was super excited recently when Watson, which began as this kind of, began as a science experiment, then it was a TV show, and obviously Watson won Jeopardy. But right from day one, to me, it seemed like it should be on the internet, and definitely it should have an application programming interface. And so just a couple of weeks ago, IBM announced the new API for Watson. They're going to be pushing into new markets. They've got some real opportunities. They're going to be building up in centers where not everybody is, where not all the people you'd expect the developer, or the places you'd expect developers to be. So like healthcare happens in the US Midwest. It's not happening on the coasts. That's where they're going to go and invest, because obviously Watson and healthcare has been a big deal. But developers are going to do all kinds of things with those Watson APIs, case management. I've already know some people at Salesforce that are going to be using them. And so IBM is going to need to start filling rooms like this full of developers and working with them in order to get them working on these APIs. Because the best experiences that we see for users, the agile stuff, that's about bringing the developer closer to the user. And that's why I'm doing the Village Hall. And frankly, it's great that IBM is now taking that sort of approach. And I believe that they're going to have a web-scale version of Watson that's available on the internet, generally available within the next 18 months. So I think for developers that want to build applications that can think, that's a great opportunity. And that's Opinionated Infrastructure.